The goats are very watching.
Dog over there. Some more over there. Here they all watching.
I think y'all can see them. Hold on. Oh. Alright, this is part 2. Alright. Just speaking over the issues. Africa has its own issues, right? And we're bringing Africa our issues, right? And as I said in previous video, we give them a lot of prep, a lot of praise, and they're doing things, but they're going to need more help, right? To the issues they have, when we come, we meet them. And I know it's a sort of talking point of their care towards our issues. To that, it's understood why the focus of mine is to something which is more pleasurable, right? Which is not your issues, right? What's more pleasurable is the metal cities and the lights and the different foods, all of that's more pleasurable. The larger paycheck, though they don't know that financial system they get trapped into, right? So I'm thinking, right? What's the solution? And so for that, I'm bringing to you a series right now, which I just released the first video, and it's kind of talking about the historical. Not kind of, it is. And it speaks 3,000, 4,000 years back, right? And it's going to come into more sort of present when we're speaking 500 years ago, 100 years ago, right? And it's going to cover some of the timelines and the misconceptions and the lies, right? Because there are a lot of things added to make the power, the reign of the time look more granular than what it is. In other words, if something's said to have lasted 2,000 years, it's only been 1,000. Okay? Checking the goats out. So I'm bringing you a series. My thought behind it. I've seen a couple of things in life where I was very, very powerless. Very, very. And I think as a man, one of those would be with your family, right? And I mean the family that you create. Another will be incarceration. Rather you were in the military or outside, the brig or civilian, right? So there's been times in my life where I have been absolutely powerless. And so I understand such a perspective now where I'll put you like this. When I were incarcerated, my time and thinking were, why am I being fed like an animal? I'm eating on a certain time, lime, giving slop. Bread tastes sweet because you ain't had sugar in so long, so carbs just sweet. And it's the most bland food, right? You're like an animal, you're caged. You're not an animal, but you're like an animal. You get what I'm saying? When they come with food, you're excited. But you can feed yourself. No, you can't. Right? And it made me really to think and appreciate, wow, if I just could get closer to the elements, the fire, the sun, the earth, the water, the wind, which bring the fortune, right? If I can get closer to that and then be able to create from that, that's the goal. That's where I need to be. I think in that point in my life is when I known, right? And already just from how my life structure has been, how I've grown up and those things, I never could work and such. I just can't. I won't do it. You know, I'll hustle on what? I'll do commission work. I'll do something that's purposeful. But time for money, I won't do it. I won't damn do it. And we're in a system, right, where the only way to beat this system, it's a point I really want to get to. It's really when you disconnect from it. But the issue then comes, can you still support yourself, right? Because in building, right, it's a paradoxical topic that's going around. The different YouTubers are covering right now. And it speaks about being smart and not being smart. Or being willing to die, but actually doing meaningful action, right? It's paradoxical for this reason. You can be so smart where you know you're not so smart and you do damn nothing. Or you can be so smart where you're dumb but you do something, right? As for me, I'd rather the second. I'd rather be so smart that I'm actually dumb, but at least I'm doing something, right? That's number one. Number two, being willing to die, sometimes that willingness alone is the first step, right? To do things incremental and purposeful. I'm watching now, man. He was moving about. Doing things incremental, in increments, and by purpose, right? Like, to make meaningful change over time. Well, that's not easy to set and just do, but that willingness and then that disconnect, because you know how to go more close with less, get closer to what is being, what is God, what is base, right? And that's much I have been doing, right? And still I want to get closer. I eat with the locals and all those sorts of things. They're teaching me things. When I want to brush my teeth, it's making my teeth more white. I go get a branch and I clean it. I do all that sort of thing, right? Now, the purpose. In doing that, you disconnect. So you can, okay. In the system, you'll find, right? People ask, what are you doing? Right? Your own family and those things, right? You're pressured. And you're pressured to go and do all these sorts of things. And you're told why, and it's so that you could do these other things, right? Okay. In that, okay, let's say you amount to some resource and what that you get. Well, now you have a bullet on you. Well, now it's taken from you because it could just be taken. You don't actually own it, right? Those reoccurring bills and everything else, right? You've done all the stunts to have amounted to something to have it taken, right? And that's devastating. They go your whole life, right? How you could pay car insurance and you drive every day, all day. One little fender bender, not even bad. Your insurance drop you, right? The whole purpose was for that one time, right? You get what I'm saying? So it's a damning. It's the same paradox as being told that you don't know anything. Don't do that. You see? Because nothing gets done. You go in the same circle, the same hamster wheel. So in chasing that sort of capital, you're building the same oppressive system, right? And so when I bring you this sort of history, this is what I was getting at. When I bring you this history, it's so that you can see, right? So that mentally and spiritually you can see different, and thus physically you can then see different. You can see your ancestors and how they lived and how they did things. You can see yourself in a different light. You can see that you're able to take down these different foods and physicalities and whatnot. You can do that, right? You can see yourself in a different setting, and that's the start. That's the start. Right now in America, there is a revolt, and it's silent. People aren't paying, and they're past due on their bills. People aren't working. That's the revolt. That's what America don't want, right? But I'm gonna tell you, America is gonna continue to scream that, and gonna continue to push a group of white people called MAGA, and tell them, basically, hey, things are rough, aren't they? Well, we have a opportunity for you. You can exploit these peoples, and that's what's coming. That's what's coming. That's the whole purpose of it, right? And they're going to do everything that they need to do, because you have China shutting down all of their manufacturing, because they're the manufacturers of the world. You have Africa that's saying, no, ain't no more raw resource going outside unless you stealing it from a smaller man. But government-wise, we're not doing it no more. Right? So, oh boy, we have problems because we's oppressed and the temperature getting hotter. And we gotta find some answers. Right? So, I think in all of what I spoke, I think I really covered about everything I wanted to say. But I myself, I'm still looking, I'm still searching. And every day, I'm looking, how can I become more resourceful, right? Because I'll add this little tidbit too. Assimi Goita, President AES, not spoken about much. He sat in power position for approximately 2 years. No ally, right? And sometimes it's what you got to do. Sometimes you have to disconnect. Sometimes you have to stand firm. And that don't mean you know the increments and the work you're going to be doing are tedious, very calculated. No, it'll come. I know that's not the best thing to sell. Matter of fact, I'm not selling it to you at all. I don't get nothing from you in telling you this, right? Now in the future, things don't plan out, life still sucks. You could blame me, be like, dang, what if my life was like this? Let me tell you, what if your life was like anything of decision that you did or did not make? Right? I'm telling you, what's the thought to a solution? That's it. I don't know for certain, but in listening and hearing and seeing and in my journey, I'm bringing to you, right? And I want to get back to the AES, to Traore. The furthest he'd gone from his home were Morocco, right? And Traore did not build a system through working for capital, right? As you're being told to do, right? He built through life, through relations, right? That's how he did it. The same as I take my journey, my step alone, right? And I speak amongst. The masses ain't worth much. Everyone's going to try to play you. Everyone just want from you. That's Africa, right? People aren't going to be so nice and you're going to feel good. And if they are, it's probably already too late for you. It's probably already too late for you. But I already know enough about human nature. And it is well. It is well. That's it. This video again further along. So I I put my outro like how I do, you know. Uh, but what I see, right? Ideally, I want to establish, as I said, relations, trade, and influence, right? Something more tangible on ground for myself, for my blood. I want to farm. I want to farm specific. I don't want to give exact detail, but I see it. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's on some Babylonian botanical gardens, hanging out the cities, grapes and fruits for all to pick type idea. You know, I have ideas. It would be environmental changing. Have you been hearing some of the things Traore doing? I mean, or in the AES in terms of, or you could look at China, what they try to do for their environment. What I think granular, I do. But on a smaller scale, I want a fish farm. I want a fish farm in a canal. Canal purpose for that, not just for my own use, but for other people's around use. I want to provide electricity, those sort of things. Don't make life too easy for people, you know what I'm saying? There has to be some sort of system in place, elsewise. Whatever. You do all free, nobody respect it that way neither, right? But we don't need the sort of I don't want my people as slaves no more. Let's put it like that. So anyhow, that's what I have in mind. That's what I'm thinking. Let's just keep on working. Shoot, share, because if you share it, I could share my own videos, but then I could look needy. You know what I'm saying? But if you appreciate what I'm saying and you share it, well, that's the exact same as like someone calling themselves king, but nobody call him king. You know? So anyhow, if you like what I say, if you support, if you know what I'm saying, you don't gotta call me no king. We work together. I shout you out, whatever the case. You push my stuff along. Cause I'm sure it's an audience for what I got going. Or what I'm saying, not going. I don't got, there's some other things I'm working on along here. But that's for my own personal sustaining. But if we can further along our connection, this continent and the next, right? Then we can start to make some actual meaningful change around. Because I know my people are suffering, right? And that's enough. How do I say that? That's enough push of his own. Right? Because, let's face it, right? Good and bad both be necessary. Right? And to us to making change, you're gonna see some good, you're gonna see some bad. So for those who are still in America or anywhere else in the world, anywhere I mean anywhere, I'm talking about Korea, anywhere, right? And you've had the idea too, as I have, right? Or as O'Shea has, right? And you've been disappointed, or you've not gone for it yet. if that's you, it might be spacing out. Anyway, what was I getting at? If that's the case, then let's do the work now, right? Let's find the solutions. That's what I'm getting at. If that was you, right, and you're finding that it's not the simple route of getting to Africa and people, some being nice, because you, at least for me, I had the idea sort of as like how the Europeans go around, and when one say no, they just go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Sure, that could work, but man, that takes resource moving about, right? And I'm worried that I kind of would just find the same thing, and then I'm probably better, more so sticking in place and build those relations. But that's hard to do. So I still have the idea that I do need to go further. be amongst a governance that I can trust. Rather that's because it's credible through time and other people, which in Africa there's not really any. I see the most credible being the AES. That's that. And let me tell you what the AES, they want warriors, so come being soft, right? But they're also going to be very strong in their I'm gonna just say tradition and customs, right? So that's two things that you need to be aware of if you're gonna try that route. I still want to try that route. Probably send messages something, right? It's a route I want to try, but I don't know how useful I am. You see, so anyhow, let's help each other. I think you can see where I'm going. If I can build myself, right? Then I think it'll make more sense for me to take that journey. Elsewise, right now, I don't know how strenuous that would be on my resource. Okay, all right. Hit you with the outro. Peace out. Hey, if you got anything specific you want to know, let it be known in the comment. Oh, I might have gave y'all another way to contact me. Whichever the case, do so. Comment, like, yeah, you know the deal. Anyhow, that way, shoot, I'm going to get on around. I'm going to go find that information for y'all, bring it right back to you. You know what I'm saying? Let's work together to build something. Stay tapped.